How did Wonder Woman learn to become a hero if she was the princess of the land? Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read them dramatically back to you. All alterations in the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. Now today is a very special episode. This is the story of Wonder Woman, the true Amazon, and it is an alternate take on her earliest days in Themyscira. It is not the current origin, but it is an interesting one. But what makes this episode special is that we have Susan Eisenberg, who voiced Wonder Woman in the original Justice League cartoon, voicing over the lines for Wonder Woman in this special. I hope you guys enjoy. Now, due to the nature of our videos, I actually picked this story because it is a true narrative, almost telling a fairy tale about Wonder Woman. In the book, if you read it yourself, they narrate the storyline and Wonder Woman has select lines. Those will be the lines that Susan Eisenberg is reading for us. Now, if you enjoy our comic book recaps and having things dramatically read to you, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. YouTube changed their system, and we need those things to stay relevant. Thank you. Once upon a time, there was an island in the distant sea. The island was called Themyscira, and it was one of the most beautiful places in the whole world. But it was a magical island, and even if you had sailed for days and months and even years, you would never find it. For thousands of years, the island was inhabited by women who never grew old. These women were Amazons, the army of the goddess Hera. Strong, smart, and brave, the fact was said that the blades of men could not kill them. But how did they come to live on that island? Well, long ago, the men of the old world were jealous of the Amazons' skills. So a king of the man world asked Heracles, the son of Zeus, to conquer them and steal the golden girdle of their queen. Heracles liked the idea and decided that he would hold the queen of the Amazons in chains as his prisoner. He called out to her, "Warrior queen, if you are so fierce, come and face me, the fiercest of them all." Hippolyta saw it fit to send her best fighter into the battle, but upon her death, the army of Heracles and the Amazons fought in a bloody war. The armies of man joined in the battle, and eventually, the armies of the Amazons were outnumbered and exhausted. The queen let her soldiers know.
"We have no retreat. If Heracles wishes to fight me, I will go to him. But only if he agrees to spare all of you and give you safe passage back to Amazonium."
But elsewhere, the god of gods, Zeus himself, looked upon Hippolyta and was impressed with her beauty and courage. He planned to go down and disguise himself as a guard to get closer to her. But his wife Hera heard of this adulterous plan and decided to give Hippolyta a means of escape. She was sent an enchanted boat to take the Amazons to sail them over the uncharted waters, until one day, it reached a secret island. This island was Themyscira, the garden of the gods, and weary of battle and thankful for their new home, the Amazons built beautiful cities in which to live, and all was perfect. All except Queen Hippolyta wanted a child. She would walk for hours under the moonlight on the beach, and each night at the water's edge, she would craft a baby out of sand and sing a sweet and haunting lullaby. One evening, the mermaids who swam to the surface heard her song, and they captured it in a shell to carry back as a gift for their king Poseidon. Poseidon was enchanted by this gift, and he decided to calm the sea so that the song could carry farther. Because of this, the Amazons heard their queen's plight, and they sang her song, and the song then carried all the way to Mount Olympus, where the gods were overcome with compassion. They were so moved that silver and gold tears streamed down their faces and fell out of the heavens as rain. The droplets then landed in the sand and soaked the sculpted form, giving it life. Hippolyta named her child Diana and took her to the palace to present the princess to her warrior sisters. They were overjoyed to have a child to care for, and she grew from adorable baby to lovely girl as if it were overnight. The tears of the gods had enchanted this girl, granting her beauty, intelligence, strength, and wondrous powers. She mesmerized all who met her, and because of this, no one ever told her no. So because of this, the most beautiful princess was so doted upon that she was also arrogant and conceited. Diana would always charm her way out of punishment, and the warriors of the island would continue to spoil her. But as she grew, she also became strong, cunning, adventurous, and brave. And so it was one day that she overheard a problem. One of the girls had gone missing. She went missing into the local ponds. Diana laughed at this.
"I can't believe my warrior sisters who fought 9 armies are afraid of a swimming hole. Tomorrow I'll dive deep into that water and bring up her bones."
The next day, they all went to the pool. when suddenly a tentacle came out of the waters grabbing one of the girls. Diana leaped forward, stabbing it with her walking stick, and then with nothing more than a knife, she dove into the waters. As she rose up in the cave, she saw the monster that had been taking the girls, and she began to wrestle with it.
Release her, evil beast!
She shouted as she tried to free her fellow Amazon. Then, as the creature began to try and suck her blood, she told it,
Evil creature, you won't feast on my blood.
And she cut off its tentacles, as she informed it.
Nor any Amazon blood.
As she slaughtered the beast, she discovered a pearl within it. She then rescued the kidnapped girl and swam them both to the surface, where she was a hero. After that, Diana made it her task to explore the strange and unusual places on the island. She battled odd, fierce beasts and reclaimed long-hidden magical treasures. The sisters fell over each other trying to win the princess's favor and be her friend. All except one. Her name was Alethea, and she tended to the queen's horses. Every day, Diana would go to the stables, and Alethea would act as though she were not there. So Diana would try everything in her power to win the favor of this stable hand. To no success. It frustrated her to the heavens, until finally, she could stand it no more.
Sister, why do you not bow to me?
But Alethea explained that she is not as easily overwhelmed as her sisters.
Am I not brave? I have ventured into the caves hidden in the very center of the island. There I captured countless terrible creatures single-handedly and imprisoned them in the silver serpent horn.
But Alethea was not impressed, explaining that she is moved by a person's honest actions and how they treat those around her.
Then I shall prove to you I possess more of those qualities than anyone.
And with that, Diana set off on a journey to prove herself to the stable hand by finding excuses to help out at the stable every day. But nothing she did impressed the girl. Time passed, and eventually the Amazons prepared for the commemoration of warriors. It is here that they would compete in games of physical skill in arts of war. This was to remember the battles that they had fought in, to remind them how they should be grateful for the peace that they endure. Each contestant competed anonymously, as the rule was that no sister could be distracted. So this gave Diana an idea, that the champion of the Amazons would be the one to embody all of the qualities that Alethea admires. So she donned a mask and joined the festivities. She won in the foot race, the archery challenge, and the swordplay match. But each time there were others on her heels, and she knew that she would need an advantage in the final match. It was a chariot race, and even though she was the princess, she saw herself potentially failing. So she thought to herself a distraction would win the match for her, and she pulled out the silver serpent horn. Upon blowing on it, she freed all of the monsters and demons that she had captured. The monsters came out and provided the very distraction that she needed as her sisters crashed into each other and had to fight for their lives. Diana ignored the damage that they were doing and rode to the front of the pack, and then the finish line where she ran up and grabbed the chalice, making her the victor. But when she turned back to see everyone cheering for her, she saw the horrors of her distraction and what it had created, and she shouted,
"Oh great Hera, no!"
Diana, seeing the folly that she had created, ran headlong into the fight, where she fought valiantly alongside the other contestants, even having one sacrifice herself to save Diana. But in the end, while they won, the damage was done. One girl had been trapped beneath a horse and paralyzed, while another took a blow to her head, making her simple, and another was dragged around the arena, scarring her beauty. Diana looked around in horror and realized that this was all her fault. The damage that she had caused was even worse as her sisters brought forth the girl who had died in the incident. When her mask was removed, Diana saw that it was Alethea, the stable girl. She threw her mask aside and she ran to her side, with her sisters in shock that it was their princess who had caused this. She knelt before her sister, telling her,
"I'm so sorry. I wanted to win. I wanted to be your champion."
The whole kingdom was saddened that they had overlooked the faults that were so obvious in their princess. But her mother was the saddest of them all, as she knew that she would have to punish her own daughter for spoiling her. A funeral was held for Alethea, and once everyone had left, Diana walked into the chambers. She held her close one last time and told her,
"You sacrificed yourself to defend me. Never will I rest until I have undone the wrongs I've committed against you and my sisters. I dedicate my eternal life to serving others and using my gifts for altruism and not gain. You are the true Amazon. I pray one day I shall be worthy of that title."
It was there that it was decided what Diana's punishment would be. Her injured sisters called for her death or her scarring. They wanted her to feel their pain, but one of them stepped forward exclaiming that there has been enough bloodshed. So, her mother decided a more fitting punishment. Diana would wear the clothing of the girl that she had killed, and she would be banished from the island of Themyscira. And that was how Princess Diana was banished from paradise, until she could atone for her actions. But those stories are for another night. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this fairy tale with additional readings from Susan Eisenberg. It was really an honor to have her read the character of Wonder Woman, as I never thought I would even get to speak to her doing a YouTube channel. But if you guys enjoyed her reading, don't forget to follow her Instagram at SusanEisenberg21. And just so you know, she will be voicing Wonder Woman in the DC Universe Online Amazon Fury trilogy. And she will also be voicing Wonder Woman in the upcoming video game Injustice, due out in March 2017. Once again, I do thank her for joining us today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to give this video a like, and I'll see you next time, right here at Comicstorian.